Welcome back to another Amundson family podcast. I have lost track on what number this is. Number
might
8.
be 7.
7. Okay. Yeah. Well, in case you haven't noticed, you cannot hear the puppies. I don't know if whoever's been listening to our live stream, especially the last one, they heard the puppies. They were underneath the building, and they were really, really loud. They were almost drowning out the music. I think they wanted to sing along or something.
They must have known we were in here doing something.
Yeah.
Because they were really making a racket. And our last live stream was a lot.
It was bad. Yeah.
You weren't involved, but you were listening, weren't you?
Oh, yeah.
And you could hear them.
Anytime you guys weren't singing, you could hear it drown out the voices. But yeah, so in case you haven't noticed, they're gone. You can't hear those anymore. And we moved them to a different building. It's like a shed where the goats used to be.
Yeah. Now the goats are still... Okay, so it was a little shed, a little storage shed, where the goats had a little part of it.
Right.
And the rest was, well, junk. And then there's a lean-to outside of the shed. The shed's maybe, I don't know, 6 by 10 feet. So anyways, Nate and I, we went and we cleaned out the whole shed and put all the junk in some other place. We made it so that the goats couldn't get inside the shed. And so we have that for the puppies and the dog. The goats have the lean-to on the outside.
I see.
So they're still sheltered.
Right, so the goats can't like stomp on the puppies.
Yeah, I wasn't sure how they would all do in communal living.
Maybe
Goats
better
versus
safe than
dogs.
sorry.
Yeah. Oh, but those dogs are getting to be big butterballs.
They're so cute, and if you pick them up, they just like cuddle you. It's so cute. But we do need to get rid of some of them because in no time we are gonna have 10, I guess, with Katie, 10 dogs running around the farm.
Oh, they're starting to get attentive. I think any of you listening or watching would love one of these puppies.
Oh yes, maybe we need to post a video or something on Facebook.
That's not a bad idea, because who could resist?
Who can resist those puppy dog eyes? They're so cute.
And they're being very well taken care of, because every day after school and before school, Anna's loving on them.
Yeah. No, they're really good puppies. And the mom, she has always been a very good dog. So.
Yeah, you know what? I'm not so happy with her the last few days.
Oh, really?
Because it's been raining.
Yeah.
And it's wet.
Yeah.
It is wet out here. And when I go on the gator every morning, she likes to come along. So first of all, before she wants to get up on the seat of the gator, she walks through the mud.
Of course.
And then puts her big feet right where I sit. And so I'm always having to wipe the seat off. And so poor Katie, I've been kicking her off the last couple
of days. Oh, really?
So.
Last time I went to go check cows, she hopped on and she like put her muddy paws over my lap. And was kind of just chilling on top of me. So I know what you mean.
If she's dry, I don't mind one bit.
Yeah. She likes those gator rides.
So today we had a request to do a song that Gord Vodland and I used to do as a part of the Baylor Strings. And it's an old Peter, Paul, and Mary song. I'm trying not to pop my P's. It's a Peter, Paul, and Mary song called Right Field. And so I thought, well, I'd oblige this request. I'd sing it. But it also brought up some memories about growing up in Park Valley. We got a lot of P's going on. Peter, Paul, and Mary in Park Valley with pups. Anyways, it brought up lots of good memories.
Right.
Now, I'm not as sporty as my brother, Stan and his family is. But we were all raised like playing sports.
Right.
We were playing hockey or broom ball. But I would say the biggest thing for me was softball. Or as we called it, Park Valley Rule. Softball.
Yeah, Park Valley rules.
Right. When you were young, were we still playing once in a while in the old ball diamond where Norman Orsted lives? Or had we moved? No, we'd moved it to the church.
I never remember going there.
Okay, so there was a pasture. Oh, there's another P. There was a pasture where Norman Orsted and the Vodlands were, and we made a ball diamond there. Well, before I was born. And so when I was growing up in the summer, probably from May to October, every Wednesday night And every Sunday night,
Wow.
we were there playing ball, almost without fail.
Wow.
And a lot of the community would come. All ages are like from the young all the way up to the old who could hardly throw
get
a ball.
around, yeah.
But it was such a lovely time of playing ball, fellowship, learning how to compete safely. I'm not safely, but learning how to compete without.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so it was a good time where the older ones could teach us how to play. And it was great. So yeah, every Wednesday and Sunday night. And then it brought to mind when my dad was young, in that very same area, they had a baseball team.
Really?
Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
They had a baseball team. So all my uncles and all the Vaudlins and
That's why they're so good.
Yeah, and I think that's why we grew up playing too, because they had a baseball. Like, I mean, the little ball.
Right.
No, we didn't play that kind of ball when we were young.
Right.
Right. We just played kind of softball, and then slow pitch sometimes. But anyways, our dads would play baseball, and they'd go to some of the other school districts like Ladder Valley and Canwood and Big River, and they would play ball against these people.
That's pretty cool.
So it was a major, major thing all summer. And unless you were almost dead or really had to get some bailing done, you were at the ball game. And if
No
we got
excuses.
tired as kids of playing ball, well, we would just go play, but the rest would play ball. So what can you tell us about your sporting growing up?
Well, I mean, as soon as we moved to Park Valley, I remember like the first year we were playing ball throughout the summer, and I don't know if we did it quite that often, but I know every Sunday we tried.
Now, at that point, it had moved to where our church building is, right?
Right, and there wasn't anything there, though. There wasn't any fences. There wasn't a backdrop, I don't think. Backstop. There wasn't anything. It was just an open field with some half-made, like, what do you call them, the plates?
Yeah. Oh, so you would have been around for us to build that.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So a few years later, so of course in, what was it? Probably 2000, I don't know, maybe 2015 or something, we built a fence around it. And I remember that all the guys were doing that, helping out, put a big fence around the whole thing. It's funny. It was such a big fence. I thought there's no way anybody could hit out of there. And oh, sure enough, everybody hits out of there.
Well, not me, but a lot of the guys
the
could.
good one.
Now, that's right. You're probably right. It was probably around 2014, 15
Right.
when we started building it, because when your cousin Shay, my niece Shay, passed away
In 2016.
we honored her by calling it Shea Stadium.
Right, and that's when they put, I
Or
think that's
Shea
when they
Field.
put the backdrop up, and then they put some pictures of her
Yeah.
on the metal wiring of the backstop
Yeah.
thing, and we called it Shea Field. So
Shea Field.
yeah, and then a couple years after that, they started a building. When was that?
A building?
A building.
Oh.
The little.
The
IHOP.
IHOP. The outside house of prayer.
There we go.
That's right.
Yeah, so they started a building. I think maybe just a place to go while people played ball, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it was also going to be used for in the summertime when we wanted to be outside for church.
We used it for outside church services,
Which is my favorite.
Yeah, it's awesome. And VBS.
Right.
They used it for VBS and for the ball tournament that they hold in Park Valley every year in August now.
Right. So there's a ball tournament every year in August, and I know the Pauls are a big part. The Pauls have a team, and I think Big River has a team.
Yeah, and there's a couple Park Valley teams.
Yeah, Park Valley teams, but maybe even some more teams from the area. But they all get together and they play.
I just realized that there's many on here that don't know what we're talking about when we say Park Valley. Now, Park Valley, it is a district where there used to be a store and a school and a post office, even a cheese factory.
And a gas station.
But now all there really is left is a bunch of really close-knit people who go to church together for the most part, who work together, who play together, and it's just a kind of heaven here on earth.
It really
And
is.
it's where I was raised, and it's where Sonora and the other kids were raised for a good part of their lives. and I would say some of the finest memories we have.
Oh, definitely.
So if you want to look up Park Valley, what you do is you go to your map, go to Saskatchewan, go to the west side of the Prince Albert National Park, and there we are.
Bottom west.
Yeah,
right?
the bottom
Yeah.
west.
You have to really zoom in. It's pretty tiny.
Yeah, Park Valley may come up. Oh, and if it doesn't, look up Park Valley Log and Lumber. That was our logging business, which we're going to talk about on another podcast.
Park Valley. It might come up, I think, because
Google has Park Valley Log and Lumber.
It always I think it does come up because people at work ask me about it.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
it
so
does.
up until 1968, 1969, there was a school there until they shut the school down and started sending the kids to Debden School. That was the basis of the song Little Valley Home,
Right.
where I talk about the walk to school was traded off for a long old school bus ride.
That's right.
We'd be on the bus for an hour.
Yep.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah, you did the bus ride
Oh yeah,
too.
we did the bus ride for years, and the thing is that it's not just straightforward. Like we lived a half-hour drive from town, straightforward, but you have to go down
The
miles of
Molson Road.
Oh my goodness, you have to go down miles of driveway for every single person, pretty much,
Yeah, and
Or-
wait for them.
and wait for them. Or there was one stretch of road where we'd like the stretch of road that we lived on after our house burned down. It was like us it was Cole and then us and then. Arsteads, Vodlands, and so forth. And, you know, everybody just got picked up.
Yeah. So I don't know what you guys did on the bus for that hour, but when we were young, if we weren't reading, we were playing cards.
Really?
Like we played cards a lot, like
I
hearts and whist and, what are some of the other games that we played? Forget, but.
We never played cards on the bus. We brought our toys. When I was really young, I would play with a friend, and we'd bring our toys, and we'd kind of sit on the floor and face the bench seat.
Yeah.
And we'd have our little like whatever dolls or something, and
Yeah.
and then when we got a little older, and that's when the iPods started coming out, like that way back then. Man, I seem old. No.
Yeah, iPods, what?
iPods. And like I'm not talking about the touchscreens. Like I'm talking about the little one with like all it has is like square and it has buttons.
Yeah.
And I remember I would share earpods or AirPods with somebody. Not AirPods, but like the strings, right? They had strings
the
still.
buds, yeah.
And we'd share them and we'd listen to music.
And
And
the stories you're going to be able to tell your kids.
right? And then when the years got by, soon, you know, everybody had their own phone. And I think at that point, which is a little sad, nobody started playing with each other on the bus. It was everybody's on their phone.
On their phone, yeah.
You know, and some people I actually read books. I used to be a big book reader in school,
Yeah.
but not anymore.
You know, when I was in kindergarten, age 6 and 7,
Right.
I actually sat in the back of the bus with the two biggest guys you can imagine,
Really?
Kelvin Paul and Glenn Gustafson. And so here I was, pretty cool, you know, to be sitting in the back when you're in kindergarten.
Right. That was another thing is that, you know, we had our assigned seats on the bus, but everybody wanted to sit in the back. And so the way that our bus driver did it is starting at the front, we'd have the younger grades. And then as you go towards the back, you get the older grades. So, of course, every year that you move up a grade, you get to most likely move up a seat or two. And like I think that was the best part about changing grades. It was, I get to go 2 seats back or something.
Oh.
And soon you're in grade 12 and you're in the back seat. But there were some days when there weren't anybody on the bus. So say there was only like 5 or 6 people on the bus, and we'd go to our bus driver and be like, hey, there's nobody back there. Can I go sit back there? And she'd be like, yeah, I guess so. And then if we ever hit a bump, man, you'd go flying.
Oh, talking about that, the discipline has kind of laxed over the years. When we were young, if you got up to walk when the bus was driving, it wasn't uncommon for the bus driver to slam on the brakes.
Are you serious?
Yep, send you flying. So you
Really?
sat down, and we were not loud. We were respectful,
Oh my goodness.
and it was a different world.
I remember in probably grade 10 or 11, I would record with my phone. Like I was sitting near the back, and I would record with my phone, and I'd come home and show you guys, and just the amount of kids, everybody running around, and everybody being loud and yelling and screaming. The kids, they would just scream at the top of their lungs the whole bus ride. And, like, it wasn't anybody's fault because I don't think the bus driver could actually do anything because otherwise she'd get in trouble by the parents. Yeah. It's the world we kind of live in now, is that everybody gets offended and, no, don't touch my kid, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
but
buses and school is like that nowadays.
Yeah, didn't you you used to have the nuns who would
Oh, we weren't allowed to move an inch in school.
throw chalk at you.
Yeah.
Won't bring that up.
Yeah, maybe that's a school discipline over the years. That would be another podcast episode for sure.
The worst I got was detention.
Yeah.
Even then, it was just do your homework and.
Right. So the song that was requested is called Right Field. And as I mentioned, it's a Peter, Paul, and Mary song. And Gord and I used to do it. It was one of our, next to Grandpa singing Far Side Banks of Jordan, mm-hmm. This was probably one of our most popular songs.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
And we made it into a kind of a theatrical experience for the crowd.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to try and sing it. I hope I can remember the words.
Okay.
And you can help me sing it in the chorus.
Sure.
Saturday summers when I was a kid, we'd run to the schoolyard and here's what we did. Pick out the captains and choose up the teams. It was always a measure of my self-esteem, 'cause the fastest, the strongest played shortstop and first. The last ones they picked were the worst. I never needed to ask, it was sealed. I just took up my place in right field. Playing right field, it's easy, You can be awkward, you can be slow. That's why I'm here in right field, just watching the dandelions grow. Playing right field can be lonely and dull. Little leagues never have lefties that pull. I dream of the day they'd hit one my way, but they never did. So still I would pray that I'd make a fantastic catch on the run and not lose the ball in the sun. And then I'd awake from this long reverie and pray that the ball never came out to me. Here in right field, it's easy, You can be awkward, you can be slow. That's why I'm here in right field, just watching the dandelions grow. You ready? Well, I'll just sing. Off in the distance, the game's dragging on. There's strikes on the batter, some runners are on. I don't know the inning, I've forgotten the score. The whole team is yelling and I don't know what for. Then suddenly everyone's looking at me. My mind has been wandering, what could it be? They point to the sky and I look up above, and a baseball falls into my glove. Playing right field, it's important, You gotta know how to catch, you gotta know how to throw. That's why I'm here in right field, just watching the dandelions grow.
Hey, that was the ending of the ball song.
You heard it? Yeah, exactly.
Okay, that's really cool. It's a good song.
I guess that's some of our experiences there playing ball.
Yeah, I remember that. I was put in that way back there a lot, and I think you forget the game is going on.
Well,
you're like, the ball will never come to me.
Yeah.
Or or do you remember, like, it was funny, and I'm sure everybody does this, but whenever there's like a really good, when there's like a medium baseball player who will probably hit it to first or second, you're kind of like in the middle of the bases and the fence, right? You're kind of somewhere in there. But as soon as like Jet or something walked up, you're like, oh, everybody back up to the fence. Everybody runs to the fence like
Everyone's going,
Yeah.
motioning you back.
That's the best. But then, and then if there's like, because we also got the really young ones to play, like 5-year-olds or 6-year-olds. So then everybody would come forward and be like, "You got this."
Yeah.
Yeah, good memories.
Yeah, it is really good memories. I think sports is a good thing. It's something that we haven't really done a whole lot as a family. Some. Like you guys played broom ball.
We played broom ball for a while. And in school, I mean, we played badminton and volleyball and soccer.
Yeah.
We played sports here and then.
Yeah.
Not as much as other people, but.
Right. I guess we were like obviously more into music and things like that.
Yeah.
But that's a story for another day.
Mm-hmm.
But I think sports is good. It keeps you healthy.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, I really wish that there was more. I mean, I'm sure if you were involved in a school or a church or something, there were some sports around here in Oklahoma. But I don't know. I don't know if it's as big here.
we've done the hiking thing here.
Yeah.
That's where we have gone.
There is a place in Tulsa where you can kind of sign up for a minor league hockey team, I guess.
Oh, really? Like
Yeah.
ice hockey?
Ice hockey.
In Tulsa.
Because there's like 2 rinks in the whole city of Tulsa, and Tulsa's like way bigger than Saskatoon, and there's 2 rinks. But anyways,
I wonder how many rinks in Saskatoon.
2 million. No, yeah, you can sign up for hockey teams, but I wish they had a broom ball team, because if they did, I would do that. If they had a broom ball team in like a 3-mile radius, I'd probably sign up.
Yeah.
But I think the closest is like Texas.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But
good memories.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, thank you everybody for joining us today. We appreciate it. You can find our podcasts on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Google.
wherever you get your podcasts.
Pretty much wherever you get your podcasts. And also on YouTube for those watching. Hello. But make sure you check us out on our website, AmundsonFamilyMusic.com. And I want to say this. We love doing online stuff, but the one thing we love doing more, even, is playing in person so we can actually see people.
Yeah.
And so if you have a church or a function or a festival that you think we'd be accepted at and be good at, maybe give us the information and we'll contact them, or you can contact them. But we'd love to see each and every one of you in your hometown.
Yeah, definitely. We're willing to travel.
Yes, we will travel. All right, thanks a lot. See you next time.
Bye.